What is the sector strategy and how can you use it to grow your membership group? That's what we're talking about in this video. What I've found from working with so many small businesses is they're either focused just on one or two sectors, or they aren't focused on anyone. Normally, the only reason for that is because those are the people that showed up when the business first got started, and nothing since has changed. One strategy to grow is to use a sector strategy by creating multiple niches for the business. And this is what we did in one of our businesses. So back around 20 years ago, we were based in quite a big tourist area. And so quite a few of our clients were hotel owners. We were well known in the hotel industry for the services that we provided. So we started to look and think about other neighboring sectors that we could work for. Now, it doesn't seem like an obvious choice, but we decided to target residential care homes. As a building, a residential care home is very similar to a hotel. They both have the exact same systems and equipment in place, but from a client perspective, they can see the connection between what we did with hotels and how that could help their business too. They both had a large number of bedrooms. They both had a dining room, a lounge area. They both had a reception area, and they both had kitchen and laundry facilities. So it was a natural progression that we should target that type of client as our next sector. But if you use this strategy in your own business, the key point is to make sure that your existing business is operating okay already. And what I mean by this is, if you start targeting a new sector, will you be taking resources away from the existing sectors, or will it be able to operate on its own? What happens most of the time when people use this strategy, they'll just move their attention away from the existing clients and direct that focus on developing this new sector. And that means their existing business actually reduces in size as they take their eye off the ball. And when that new sector starts to take off, they believe it was a success, which it probably was. So they do the same thing over again. But to the outsider looking in, it just looks like they're jumping from one sector to the next, but never actually growing the business properly. Instead of being in that cycle of always jumping to the next sector, if they get things in place and have a resources dedicated to both the existing sectors and the new sector, then the business will actually grow, and they'll see a massive increase in the overall business over, say, 3 or 4 years of following that strategy. Now, there's a step before all this, which I need to talk about, and that is to first niche down on those customers and sectors that you already have. And what I mean by this is, from going through the place market strategy, you'll have identified certain sectors or customer types that you work with already. So niching down on these means basically setting up dedicated parts of the business for these groups. So in our case, before moving on to a whole new sector, we were already known for being the people to go to for hotel services. But that's because we created it that way. You might set up dedicated brand logos or separate websites for each type of customer. It doesn't matter so much as what you do, but just making sure that each particular audience believes that you're talking solely to them, rather than what most businesses do and just offer general products and services to everyone. This comes back to knowing exactly who your customer is and then only focusing on them. So let's see how we'd use this in a membership group. So let's say your business is made up of lots of different types of clients. The first thing to do is we'll look for any common themes in your client list. Is there more of one type of company than another? Let's imagine we learn that manufacturing businesses make up about 30% of your total clients. So we start out by creating what looks like a new business that's dedicated to serving manufacturing businesses. We might create a dedicated website, have a dedicated logo or brand. We might even give it a name that's just about manufacturing support. We also want to dedicate some resource to delivering that type of business, because the aim in using this strategy is you're going to expand this part of your business by attracting more manufacturing clients to it. This might take up at least 50% of your total business in how you focus on developing it. And you'll operate that new part of the business, operating it as if it's a standalone business. When you've got a team dedicated to running and growing that business, you'll do the same again with another sector. Probably in this case, it might be your second largest type of client, retail businesses. So you go through the process each time, setting up a new sector as if it were a standalone business and then dedicating resource to it until it can run by itself. And what you end up with is a portfolio of sector-focused businesses or brands, each with its own dedicated resource to keep it growing. And that's how you use a sector strategy to grow your membership group.